Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today I have got a project to share with you that you have already seen a lot of great footage. I think you know where we are and what we have gotten accomplished. I told Jerry, I was like, I cannot believe that we have got these two brand new backyard beds completed finally. It has, we dreamed it up in our heads this winter. We implemented it step by step over the past couple of months. Y'all have been with us along this whole entire project, and now it is complete. We had a great team of folks working with us today, and many hands make light work. The project is complete. I cannot wait to share what we did and just kind of the overall how it looks right now. So I'm just going to walk you through a little bit of a garden tour of this fantastic full sun, heat loving, brand new plants in here. So if you've got a hot sunny spot with less than desirable soil conditions, then this is the video for you, because we have definitely checked off all of those boxes with this bed. And so without further ado, let's just get going. Now, of course, you will remember that these two flower beds are right off of the brand new patio. And when I was in the patio and designing those beds, I really wanted to stay with a theme as far as the colors and more of a formal, cool kind of landscape with that. These two flower beds do not follow that rule at all. These are lots of hot, bold colors, lots of fun, lots of whimsy. This is more where Jenny's traditional, like natural gardening style kind of lends to. So we've done this video as far as like gone through and talked about the shrubs and the trees that are already here. If you've missed that and you want more information about those, just check out the link above or the video description, and I will have that linked. So if you want to know like what kind of cherry tree that is, all of that's in those videos. What we're going to talk about today are the things that we added. So right here on the edge of the flower bed, we wanted to have a nice, big, huge color impact. So we used the brand new luscious citron lantana that is out this year. We trialed this plant last year in our trial gardens at Creekside Nursery. It was stunning, extremely low maintenance, but a really nice soft yellow. It is not a harsh yellow at all. It is nice and soft, kind of a buttery lemon. So like citron means yellow, right? So it is a nice sweet yellow. We did this in mass. The spacing, I want to say they're going to be like 26 inches tall, 26 inches wide. I dare say ours at the nursery last year got bigger. So I envision this being one huge mass of yellow blooms by the end of the summer. You will notice right here we have a fun little new addition. That is the brand new, we are trialing it for Proven Winners and Walter's Gardens. This is Valentine's Crush. It is a summerific hibiscus, so this is a perennial hibiscus, and it will have gorgeous deep red, like true red blooms on it. It is going to be rather tall. It's going to be taller than it is wide. So we have two of these in the whole garden. We have one here and we have one in the other bed. So that will be a nice big presence here. Of course, we put the citron a little closer to it this year because the hibiscus won't get full grown. Then this is when you're at the patio, of course, this is the back of the bed. But even if you're coming up, you're still going to get lots of interest with these gorgeous, sun-credible Saturn sunflowers. Again, brand new to the market this year. We trialed them last year for Proven Winners, and they are amazing. Both sun-credible yellow and now sun-credible Saturn. Saturn has a beautiful bicolor to it. So the classic yellow on the outside with a nice deep kind of burgundy center to it. These are reblooming sunflowers, so they will bloom all summer long, and they will really kind of max out in here in the landscape right around that 3.5 to 4 foot tall and wide measurements. And so they, again, we have them relatively close to each other so that they will have this massive, huge wall of color when we're at the patio looking back. Will be really pretty. And the double play doozies, spirea, are blooming right now. So that hot pink and the yellow, again, I told you, I'm going bold on these beds and I really enjoy it. It's going to do great. We did add in this bed, I have got, we already have a couple of perennial grasses in here. We've got the white muhly grass and we've got the Cheyenne Sky. That both of those are perennial grasses. I wanted to add in a little bit more of a different color with the grasses. So I plopped in 3 of the purple fountain grasses. There's like one here, in the middle, and then over there by the cherry tree. So we've got those purple fountain grasses. Now, if you're looking at it and you're like, Jenny, that is not purple at all. That is as green can be. You are correct. So the purple fountain grasses, along with your other colored grasses, they need the UV light in order to get that nice color. These were in the greenhouse, so they were under UV protection, even though they were in full sun and they've got great foliage on them. Now that they're outside and they will get that direct light, they will turn purple really quick. Also, remember, I have purple fountain grass in my urns on the patio, so that ties in very nicely. Now, here in the front, we've got a wonderful selection ribbon of this beautiful purple verbena. This is an annual verbena from Proven Winners. It's one of their superbenas. Gorgeous. I chose this color, one, because it's really pretty and I like it, but I also have the ultraviolet phlox in the other flower bed, and this is very similar in color. So where my ultraviolet phlox will be nice and tall and upright, this verbena is going to be nice and low and wide and will spread very nicely. Now, look at this. I have a trick for you. I have mangaves planted in my flower beds. If you will remember back earlier, like a week ago, we did a video with Kata from Walter's Gardens talking about what mangaves are. And they are gorgeous. They do great in the landscape, but they're not going to be necessarily winter hardy for us. So Mama and I last week did the pot in pot method. So what that means is we buried a pot in the ground, so it is submerged. The mangaves are in a second pot. So you have the pot that's in the ground, then the mangaves. So all I did is I take that mangave in its pot and slid it down inside the pot that's in the ground. Therefore, it looks like it's buried, but it's not. It has plenty of room to grow because we did repot it. We moved them up. When it comes time this late fall, early winter, probably November-ish, all I have to do is hold the sides of my pot, lift it up, and the mangave comes right out. We do have this on irrigation, and to say also with this, we did make sure that both of these beds are on irrigation, so that was added today. We simply just tied in to the Incredible Spirea bed behind Jerry and tied it all in, so it's all on one system. So this bed is very happy. And then over here, we repeated a lot of the same thing. So you can see underneath the birdhouse, we have more of the citron lantana. So we've got the 2 bookends that will be nice and full. And then this is where the second Valentine's Crush hibiscus is. That way it can get nice and tall. It will be behind the birdhouse. The birdhouse is not blocking it because it's nice and tall. And depending on where you are in the garden, it has all those great different views. So yes, it'll get nice and tall, gorgeous red blooms on it. And this year it is flanked by that citron lantana. Just really, really pretty. So moving on up, what we also added, because remember, talking about the ultraviolet phlox, so there's a pocket of it right here. So we'll have purple and purple here. And then we have more of that same verbena underneath the magnolia tree. So it's underneath the magnolia tree while the second pocket of ultraviolet phlox is in the back. So we'll have purple in the first bed, purple ultraviolet, purple verbena, ultraviolet again. So we'll have that theme along with the yellow citron in 3 different locations in this bed. So we don't have a ton of different plants that we added today as far as like varieties, but we had numbers. And so we're repeating and bringing all those together so that the beds flow together. You will also notice that we have 2 of the mangaves also in here. This is the Aztec King. When Kata and I were doing that video, I referred to this as the king. We needed to move the king. Well, this is Aztec King. And it has really changed a lot of beautiful color since we have gotten it outside with this ultraviolet, got all those UV rays on it, really coloring up. You will notice that its leaves are coming out. In the pot, they were going straight down, but they were nice and pliable and bent really easily for me when I dropped it into the container. So it is doing really well. And then coming on down to the far end of this flower bed is the maple tree. And we have another mangave here. This is the, let's see. It's either Jabberjaws or Maverick. I can't remember which. I haven't gotten all my mangaves memorized yet. So I will have the name on that for you because I cannot remember. It is really pretty though. Raspberry, leading lady raspberry monarda. So we've got 2, 4, 6 of them in here. It looks like somebody got stepped on. Somebody got stepped on when we were adding mulch, but that's okay. You know what? If that's all that happened, then that's all right. Remember, they are perennials. Even if it gets snapped back, heck, maybe Brenna came through here and ran on it. But these monardas are great because they're nice and petite. They're wonderful on this side of the maple tree because they'll only get like 16 or 18 inches tall. Really pretty, beautiful blooms. And then wrapping around the back of it, I just had 5 of the citron lantanas left. So they're going to be on the back side of this maple tree. But again, we have it in 3 different sections of this same plant. So all these beds tie in together. I do tend to be a little whimsical when I can be. That's like, again, that's my default nature. And so I do enjoy that. Now, come over here because I forgot to tell you this. So of course, in the cherry tree bed, I had the purple fountain grass. This bed is the bigger bed, right? And I like to have the taller things in here, the bulkier things in this bed too, because even though I love you all very, very much, when you're at the nursery and maybe you're looking back this way, I do want a little bit of privacy. Whereas in the other flower bed, we want to be able to see out into the grassy field. So we're keeping things somewhat lower. The sunflowers are the tallest, but here we want more of a screen of privacy. So I added 3 of the vertigo grasses. These vertigo grasses, of course, they are an annual, but they are a giant purple fountain grass. So even though they're different purple fountain grasses, I have one here, sets of here, and in the other bed, and on the patio. Again, you sense that theme running through the garden. So there's 3 vertigo grasses on this back side of the flower bed, and they will get nice and tall. We've had them before in flower beds. By the end of the season, they're taller than I am. Nice and tall and wide. So it will give weight to this bed. It will give a nice anchor to the back of the bed. So there was 1, 2, and then there's 3. The third one is here next to the ginkgo tree. So again, we've got irrigation throughout on both of these beds. When we were planting, we did go ahead and give everybody another dose of, or a dose rather, of slow release fertilizer. We used plant tone on everybody because these shrubs and perennials that were already in here, we planted them, gosh, at least a month ago, and they had received biotone then, which was a great starter fertilizer. But this bed has really been neglected, and I will just be flat out honest with you. It was neglected. We've had heat. We went through a little bit of a drought where we didn't have a lot of rain, and so some of these are not looking their primo what they should. But this is the first year, and my first year, Honestly, my main goal is to keep everybody alive, because the first year your plants sleep, right? They're not going to show maybe a lot of top growth. Of course, your annuals, that's why we pop in the annuals for that big pop of color. But my trees and my shrubs and my perennials, all the action is happening in the ground. So they're sleeping as their roots are growing. Next year, they will creep. They will be bigger, but still not all the way up to their full potential. And then the third year, they leap, and they're just glorious and beautiful and full. So remember, give your garden time. Meet their needs, right? Give them what they need, but you have to be patient because they like to sleep, creep, and leap. So by your third year, you should really see a lot of improvement and really understand what your flower bed is really going to be, your garden is going to be in the long term, right? Gardening is long-term event, especially on beds like this when you're talking about trees and slow growing plants like that. So everybody got plant tone to give them that little extra kick that they need right now. And we did go ahead and lay down some compost. We did top dressing of compost because this soil was just really bad. It had been lawned for, for several years, very compacted. Got it in there, as much help as we can, and then a nice thick layer of this hardwood mulch. It is going to make a massive difference. We've already run the irrigation once, and so the plants are nice and happy in here. While we were planting, because it was hot and sunny today, we were watering these annuals, these new plants that we were putting in. So everybody has done really well. We are gonna have some heat this week up into like the mid-90s later on in the week. So we want to keep them nice and well watered and happy until they get fully adjusted. But of course, we will keep you updated on this. It has been quite the transformation. And when you take this whole space into an account and you look at these flower beds and you tie it into the patio and all of that behind me, it really does make quite the impression, and we're very excited about this. The whole area just really kind of flows together. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have learned something, been inspired. And as always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.